Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the Muslim Athlete Podcast. We just got news, viral news actually, of allegedly Habib being kicked out of a plane. I watched the video. We're going to watch it together and we're going to comment on it and we're going to react to it and we're going to get our thoughts to it and just speak about it for a little bit. So
Yep.
I'll go ahead and share my screen. Here's the
There it is, there it
video.
is.
This video is by Bleacher Report.
It's not about the language. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're either gonna have you switch your seat because my flight attendants are not allowing you to sit in the exit row, or you're gonna have to get off this plane in the water.
How do I pause?
Because
Did you press on it?
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
hard to
so it
make out
seems-
what's going on. I mean, it's hard to make out what they're saying exactly. But it looks like this video started maybe like halfway into the interaction. Like this is
They
definitely
just
not the
started
beginning of the
recording.
interaction. Somebody just took out a phone, started recording.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. It seems like that they're speaking to each other, and it looks like the Habib is in an exit row. From my understanding, is that they asked him previously if he was okay with being in an exit row and if he needed help in an emergency, and he did say that he was okay with it. And I guess I don't know what happened exactly.
Yeah, I mean these exit rows. I was on a flight maybe 2 weeks ago, and I saw maybe a guy spoke even less English than Habib. They asked him at the gate, "Hey, are you fine with being on an exit row?" He just nodded, and
Yeah,
and then when he got into the seat, they asked him again, just a nod. You couldn't even tell if he knew what they were saying. He looked a bit foreign, and no verbal agreement, just a quick nod. But in this case, I'm sure we're not sure what the situation is. I'm sure Habib said something when he said he was okay to be on the exit row. I saw a couple comments from users saying that he already said that he was okay. We'll look at his Habib's Instagram post after we finish up this video real quick.
yeah, for sure. Okay, yeah, definitely. All right, so some clarifications because as the story was developing initially, people thought it was Alaska Air or Alaska Airlines, and that's actually not accurate. I looked at their comment section and they didn't release a statement, but it seems like people were bombarding them with comments about this incident. And then Habib made a clarification, I believe it was on Instagram or on Twitter, which we are going to look at later, clarifying that it was actually Frontier Airlines, which is notorious for having issues, which
Yeah,
is pretty unfortunate.
Frontier
So let's
is as it's like your Spirit, your I know Avello is a new one on the scene, and then there's a British counterpart as well. Just cheap prices, not known for their service.
yeah. So let's complete the video.
they're not comfortable with emergency exit row. My flight attendants. And unfortunately, it is fair. Yes, it is. Because
They asked me, do I know him? Yes, I said.
and they said yes. And I understand that, but it's also off of their judgment. I'm not going to do this back and forth.
Yeah, it seems like here is that they're looking for a resolution from him, and he's saying that, hey, you guys already asked me about this, and I said I'm okay with this, and they're just keep pushing it. It seems like the staff, flight attendants, just keep pushing it.
Yeah, and they're referencing saying, "Hey, it's the other." So there's someone else who initially refused it, and this person, I guess, just came in to do damage control. And they're saying it's the other person that says, "Oh, their judgment is that you're not fit to be in the exit row," or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's ridiculous.
This is ridiculous. So what does that
Like,
mean?
come on. The UFC, arguably the greatest of all time. If there was going to be an emergency and you want somebody to be in control or handle that certain emergency, you would want this guy.
This is literally the best fit person to be in that exit row.
Exactly. And I think she did mention, I don't know if it was a slip of a tongue or whatever it was, but she did just say it's not about the language. So what is it about then?
Yeah, what is it about if it's not about the language?
Yeah.
I will call a supervisor. You can either take a different seat, or we can go ahead and escort you off the plane. Which one are we doing? Okay, I'll call a supervisor, and then we're gonna have to rebook you for a different flight. Josh, do you copy?
Wow, getting up. Well, and
Yep.
he's really like patient and not yelling and not getting confrontational. He just got up and just, and it looks like he had a friend with him.
Yeah, no, this is. Hey, I'm Habib. Do you know who I am?
Yeah,
And I guess they didn't know who he was. Maybe the only
yeah,
person
exactly.
that did was probably the person filming, which is why they took
Yeah,
out the camera.
yeah, and it's ridiculous because I would assume that anybody else with that kind of status would say, "Hey, do you know who this guy is?" And not even his friend mentioned it. Say,
Yeah,
"Hey,
not
do you know
even.
who this is?" It's like really humble, and just to think about that he's flying coach, which is, I mean, he could easily private if he wanted to. I
Yeah,
mean, how many friends does he have with his like, "Hey, fly private jet for free," and he doesn't even have to probably pay any money. And he's going for the camp for Islam's camp, if I'm not mistaken. How many other people were there on the plane that were part of his entourage? I would like the I would we would like to see the statement that Habib made. Did you have his Insta or Twitter pulled up?
yeah.
I
Let's
can
get
pull it
it
up.
pulled up.
All
Okay,
right, so we
the
have his Twitter pulled up. We're gonna see his official statement that was posted on Twitter, and reading it seems like it was actually directly from him, not from his management team.
yeah. Can you share it?
Do you want to
Can
read it
you?
or?
Yeah, yeah. It says. Okay, so he starts off. First of all, I need to clarify that it was fly. The lady who comes to me with the questions was very rude from the beginning. Probably the lady that asked him if he was fine sitting in the exit row.
Yeah,
Uh, and I agreed to assist. She still insists on removing me from my seat. What was the base for that? Racial, national, or other one? I'm not sure. But after 2 minutes of conversation, she called security and I was deplaned from this aircraft. After 1 5 hour, yeah, this is probably from him because just of the maybe just a direct from Translate,
yeah,
Google Translate. After 1.5 hour, probably is what he meant to say. I boarded another airline one and I left to my destination. I did my best to stay calm and respectful, as you can see on the video, but those crew members could do better next time and just be nice with clients. Yeah, he's absolutely right. And
yeah.
he didn't react like as most
What
people
would
would.
you expect?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whether you're famous or not, I think anybody would have been angry. Anybody
yeah.
would react to that situation.
And just the thought that it's Habib Nurmagomedov, and this has gone pretty viral in the past few hours. When did it happen? I believe it probably happened this morning.
Yeah, so the tweet, I see the tweet here. The tweet was 3 hours ago. So three
Yeah,
hours as of Sunday, January 12th.
yeah. It's unfortunate, really, that had to happen like that. I would like to see a statement from Frontier to see what they actually say and how they respond to this, because people are bombarding their comment section. If you
Yeah,
would actually go down in the history, you would see, in their comments, they would get, 20, 30 comments, and then their their top comments or pinned comments, they'll have thousands and thousands of comments and just all about this incident.
yeah. And
My,
the funny part is even Alaska Airlines is getting bombarded too, which is why the first thing
yeah,
Habib said, hey, this is not Alaska Air. This is from here.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I find it ridiculous. Like, do they not know who this man was? Who he was? I. It
That,
seems like in America, people haven't caught on to
yeah, that
Habib,
surprises me. That surprises me a
right?
lot.
Yeah,
That nobody recognized them. Well, maybe they did. I'm not sure, but didn't seem like it. I mean, this guy is as big as it gets in combat sports, MMA, boxing, all over the world. I think if you're an MMA fan, Habib Nurmagomedov.
yeah. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous. Well, I think we'll see as it unfolds, and we'll see what happens and how Frontier chooses to respond to this, which I think they will.
Yeah, let's hope. I mean, any type of statement, even a half-assed one, is better than nothing. I think in this case.
Yeah.
How would you, if you were in Frontier shoes, how would you respond to this?
It really depends, I guess. I mean, an apology and then just a statement stating that they need to work on their client relations with their flight attendants and actually be able to identify certain situations. I understand somebody might be having a bad day and not know who this man was.
Whole
Dish it
situation
out
is weird.
towards, yeah.
Yeah, especially like what part, what judgment? If it wasn't language, what judgment or how? What led to this? If it wasn't the language,
Yeah, that's what I would think.
just prejudice, I think.
But why would they, if they knew who this man was, why would they even begin to do that? If they knew who Habib was, why would they even begin to press it? You know how some celebrities, they get pulled over by police officers, and then the police officer knows who that person is, but they want to get their famous moment, whether 30 seconds or whatever, 10 minutes of fame in those certain situations, and they just be like a real, like, very disrespectful to that person, and just saying, I don't care who you are, I'm going to follow the law, just because, and they just make it as much of a bigger of a deal than it actually is.
I guess hoping that celebrity puts him on blast and therefore gives him
Yeah,
undue clout.
yeah, exactly. The way they spoke, it seems like they didn't know who Habib was.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, the thing is, like, would you expect him on a public flight like that,
No, I wouldn't even
flying
expect him in the
coach?
airport, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, maybe that's a lookalike. Even if you know who he was and you're a big fan, you would assume that, oh, that's somebody who maybe who looks like him. Not in a million years, I would expect to see Habib there.
I guess I
Especially,
underrated his fame as well because I didn't think he'd be able to move even in the U.S. without people asking for autographs and this and that.
yeah. Well, I think the US is a little bit different. Not a lot of people know about him and know actually his face. Maybe they have heard his name before. That's what I would think. But maybe it's just the face factor. People just actually don't know. He's not like a household face that people automatically know.
Yeah, especially on the this is on the wake of Islam Mahachev's fight this upcoming Saturday in about in 6 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's probably flying over to LA maybe to go help him train or whatnot.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Well, I want to see how this folds. All right, so this is all we got for you guys today. Until next time, make sure to click like, subscribe, view, share, whatever it is. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum.